Yeah, let's talk
and
about.
then we can get into it.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. My name is Ian Taylor, and with me this week is Josh.
What it is.
Keith's here.
That camera was frighteningly high quality for how close you got to it.
Small, far away. And Jason.
Hello.
I was just saying, literally before we went on air, that I've been running around like a blue-ass fly today, and it all made you all laugh mightily. Have you never heard that expression, a blue-ass fly?
No, I'm pretty familiar with ass flies, and really it's the blue. The
And we're
blue.
off.
I've never heard that one yet. So
Wesley, bookmark that. 30 seconds in, you
And we're off.
Sorry.
ass flies. No, there's a. I don't know if you have them in America, but there's a type of like common fly. You know, the type that buzz around shit, I guess, in the UK called a blue bottle, and it's kind of got a dark sapphire-y kind of back end, I guess. Anyway, it's been a day so far. I won't lie to you. Good morning, folks. We got Mike Inguigiazzo. I've never tried to pronounce your name. You might know him as MacLeod on EPAC. Really good dude. Really good dude.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't think we've ever had him on chat before. That's fab. We've got Wesley can't be with us because he's working. Ooh.
Yeah, Saturday in the car business.
But he is on comments, so that's good. Interglobal's here, Pete's here, TC Wallets. So yeah, we're all good. How's it been, kids? What's been happening? Keith, we haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to?
No, I mean, it's been pretty crazy. I had some stuff with family last week or the week before, whatever we were supposed to be on last. It's going to get crazy for me moving towards the season. I mean, we have our first 75-degree Saturday over here in Jersey.
Wow.
So my groundhogs have popped their heads up. You know, in my business, I have a lot of seasonal business, and I all of a sudden got rocked this week, and all of a sudden, and I'm like, what's going on? And I look at the weather, and I'm like, oh, it's time.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
That's been good.
Goodness me. While I quickly get card cam set up, Jason, what you been up to? What you been getting into? What you been after card wise?
I've been doing some trades, wheeling and dealing on EPAC in the waning hours of Marvel.
Yes.
Putting together some some rainbows of some cards, putting together some base sets before I kind of give it a rest for a little bit. So
Yeah. It is. Sorry, my StreamYard's asking me to do stuff that actually requires me to think about what I'm doing. I can't possibly work under these conditions. Bear with me a sec. Mike's just not a bad try. Brilliant. Ink Wajato. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I can see that now. Good. Good.
Nice.
Now we know.
Okay.
Now we know how
Appreciate
to
the phonetic breakdown.
Yeah, thank you for that. Seriously, even with phonetic breakdowns, I often fuck things up like that. So, Jake Retroverse is here, although he's on his other account. Who knew Jake had two names? Julian, yes, exactly. So, what was I going to say? Yes, we are very close to the last hours, even, of Marvel being able to buy on EPAC. Because it finishes. Why did CardCam just add itself?
It's a life of its own.
That's bizarre.
CardCam does what it wants to.
CardCam is its own entity. It seems. But yeah. So 30. So we are as we speak. It is Saturday, the 29th of March, and in about 2 days, and about, I don't know, 6-7 hours or something like that. I haven't done the math. The last Marvel products disappear from being able to purchase. So what's left? I mean, what is left? Marvel Cyber.
My Marvel Cyber.
It
Yeah.
never dies.
Get it? It is. It is. I've used this reference before, but I do quite like it. It's going to be like those cartridges, those Atari cartridges they dug up in the desert. In 40 years' time, they're going to be digging up Marvel Cyber from some landfill up near where Comsy are based in Washington State. So what else is left? Eternals is left, and boy, don't I know it. Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns is still going.
Oh yeah, people are still. Yeah, it's still there, but people, that's kind of one of the hot items people are trading for.
Yeah, that's the one that seems to be getting the most action at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's got some pretty good achievements left, I think.
Right.
Has it got
those
splash pages?
Those clear achievement medallions are awesome.
Oh yes, the acetate ones. Yeah.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, those look cool. I
think the one that I'm most upset about that I'm gonna miss out on at least finishing my set on and have to farm it out in weird ways like we've talked about is Unbound 4.
Oh yeah.
I wish there was a loophole on that, since it's like their stuff and their art that they can hang on to it, but it's gonna. I feel bad for Bella too, because it's not going to get sold out on her.
No, and
so,
it's not
I'm sure there's sketches we won't see now, and plates and stuff. Things that'll get locked up into that same time capsule.
Mind you, it's kind of been the same for Unbound 3, because not every week sold out.
Right.
So in some, I think it was a Fred Ian sketch in every week. I think pretty much, I don't know for sure, but I think a lot of those did get pulled. But I can't say for sure that all 4 plates, for example, popped on some of the less popular characters.
I wonder if they have a pull percentage algorithm in like the last day. They can juice that up and get some of the hidden stuff out there.
You think so? But then I think
it's a great idea.
But my understanding was that under consumer laws, I don't think you can do that, because it would be deemed unfair to the earlier buys in terms of the odds and stuff like that.
Those odds have always been trash. We know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know that for sure. That's the thing. It's just everyone doing different pound maths, as it's been referred to. What else have we got? Beginnings. Beginnings is still there, and some of those Jumbo Splash achievements that are popping up, they're really nice.
They are. Those are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they are pretty awesome. I've still not seen. I mean, I don't know if it's been pulled, because I check intermittently, and I imagine if someone pulled it, they'd probably lock it pretty much straight away. But there's supposed to be one from Amazing Spider-Man 194 with Black Cat, which I think is like the inner splash page. So I haven't seen that, and I've been, like I said, I've kind of been keeping an eye. What else we still got? There is What If is still there. Do we still have any other? Because Fleer Ultra Wolverine went, didn't it? Is that gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. So it's what? Is that half a dozen or so? I think I have a feeling Jason's looking at it, because
I am. So we've got Unbound 4. All the Pack War stuff is still there. Throwback 59 to 63. Midnight Suns 2022-23 annual Funko Pop. Avengers vs. X-Men. Throwback 89. What If. Beginnings 21-22 annual. Shang-Chi, Eternals, and everybody's favorite Cyber.
Wow. Okay. And what really makes me smile is the amount of speculation there is out there at the moment. It's on Whatnot, it's on the group, it's on all sorts, and everyone going, "Oh yeah, it's going to be 90% on the last day. It's going to be." What's my favorite one that I read is, and I'm not saying this is wrong, by the way. It just makes me laugh. Is that it's going to be like repacked and resold through like one of the distributors and things like that. I mean, we simply don't know what the stuff that's left
will happen.
I mean, I personally, I think it will probably be destroyed, unless have done a deal to.
That'd be an absolute shame.
Yeah.
What about those hit parade boxes? I could see them doing that.
Possibly. I mean, if they do it with anyone, they'll do it with David Adams because I
Yeah.
have a pretty good relationship with them. But I don't. I don't believe there's going to be any more discounting because it's not upper deck, but determine how deep it goes. It's the licensor because they get a cut of it. So I really don't think you're going to see 90% or 91% on the last few hours.
Right.
Throwbacks 89, of course. Yes. Yeah, my mic is saying in chat. The only one that's under 99 cases.
Yep.
Throwbacks 89 was a decent little set.
Mm-hmm.
Decent little set. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Different style. It was something different, you know. It was.
Yeah. I'm
Not
not
the
so
same
sure
thing.
about the 59 to 62 one.
Yeah, I put a glossy gold of that together this week of the high and low series. I like it. I've kind of gotten used to the art it is from the 60s.
Yeah.
There's a couple the 61 set that is like kind of the black and white close-up black and white image from the basketball design. I really like those quite a bit. Like the Spider-Man one is pretty sweet.
I was just catching up on comments, and Wesley's having a really busy day at work here. Since there's a blue Arsefly, is there a one of one golden treasure Arsefly? Let's ask Josh. Josh seems to know about Arsefly.
Yeah, typically, all right, harder to come by. It's going to cost you a lot more to come across your one golden Arsefly treasure.
We should rename this episode very quickly. It's the Arsefly episode. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Josh. I thought Midnight Suns would be gone, but hey, it's nice that there's still something pretty decent.
Yeah,
so,
I thought Midnight Suns was definitely going to get, for lack of a better term, reappreciated or looked back into once all this started happening and availability started to dwindle. Midnight Suns was different. It could have had a few things, changed to be a little bit cleaner, but I think for the most part, some really different, crazy, fun art. The card construction was also a little different. It just had a different feel, and I dug it. So now that and the achievements were good, like you said before, the medallion cards for that set were fantastic, and some of the just some of the different artwork on the characters and that I don't want to say gothic, but sort of nightmarish type art.
It kind of is leaning into the gothic a little bit. Graham Master's stuff is really fucking dark. In terms of the style of it. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's just a different thing, and that's what regards to the execution of that set, and we've certainly made it clear that I don't think they stuck the landing on it. What Falcon's doing in it, Lord only knows. But and it's really jarring, actually, some of the characters that are in it in terms of the art. But I think it's a great time if you can, even if you're not into the buying boxes and buying packs, it's a great time to pick up the stuff that's being sold off because autos are going like 20-30 quid, and they're nice on-card autos, some of them, and I've been very tempted to double dip on a few. I've got the ones I've been going after are the Bianchi ones, and I've finally got the last one I needed about 4 weeks ago, so I'm pretty much done on all my Bianchi rainbows apart from the hobby box exclusive oranges. Still got a few of them to go, and I'd love a plate for each of them, of course, but who wouldn't? But it's a good time to be picking up some stuff. Let's. As we're talking about EPAC, a lot of people are pushing to kind of finish things off. I've already seen quite a few people say, trading is fallen off, trading is dead, yada, yada, yada. I think it is if you're only after the achievements or the big stuff. I think there's a lot out there if you're still building sets, if you're still picking up rainbows. I think it's still very, very doable. And I think you can you can re-up and have some good stuff to trade without buying product. You can buy lots on the group, which I did a few times with Flair.
There's a lot of
US
whole collection
Flair.
posts going up. Lately.
Yeah. Or just like clear out the rest of my Flair, clear out the rest of my that. Yeah, and it's not all digital based. There's some pretty decent like little things you can pick up. So if you change your mindset a little bit to not buying the packs, to actually spending that money but buying just some stuff you know what it is, you've got a little bit of trade collateral in you to tide you over to pick up those last pieces. Without resorting to buying on ComSig.
How long will achievements be active for, or do they die too?
They don't die. I believe, if I remember correctly, their announcement said that you'd still be able to trade and do active achievements. Now, I think achievements generally fall off after a couple of years anyway.
Yeah, but that's good they're doing that because maximize, give people as much time as possible.
It's just the purchase aspect. You can't buy new. They're not legally allowed to sell new products after 4:59 p.m. Pacific time on the 31st of March because their legal right to do it has been is finished. They had whatever the details of the extension they had from the 31st of January to the 1st of January to the 31st of March is complete speculation on everyone's part. But we had 3 months extra.
What if they pull off another deal?
I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, if I was Topps Fanatics, I'd be pretty cheesed if that happened again. So no, I think it's extremely unlikely. And also, I'm not sure the juice is worth the squeeze for them to go to bat. There's very little left to sell. Outside of the sets we know are selling. Product sealed. That's an interesting one, Josh. Yeah. When we had Jason El Presidente of Upper Deck on, he did say that sealed, if you've got unopened packs and boxes, that they would, still be there. It's just the purchase. That's the thing to note. The only thing they've said will go away is the ability to purchase, and they've already lost the ability to market it as Marvel. Everyone's
it's
Marvel
just entertainment now. Yeah,
it's entertainment. That sort of stuff. And hey, the Card Collector Show, and I still can't remember your name. I think it might be Jason or Josh. I think it's one of those because
a lot of Joshes out there.
I know there's a lot of Joshes out there. It's just joshing. And see, even Wesley even types it the way he says it.
Yeah.
Jason. I thought it was Jason. There we go. I was pretty good there, Jason. I managed to remember that. There we go.
Jason's unite.
Jason's of the world unite. But that was kind of a long segue to what we want to talk about this week. So this rather cheekily titled episode, Card Climax, is
better than Asphalt.
I'm going to enjoy this. Tales of Hobby Achievement, where we have it can be not an e-pack as well. I mean, I've got some examples to show here to kick us off that are non-e-pack, or at least I've acquired them non-e-pack. But it's basically, I saw a post in the group from a fella. So let me find that post first of all, because it is really cool. So there's a guy in the group who posted a story, and I'm going to read it out once it loads, of how he finally managed to get to his goal. And I thought, it's quite a heartwarming story. So I thought, you know what, there's got to be quite a few of that kind of thing around. So let's do an episode focused on that. A guy called Han Zheng, I think is how you pronounce his surname. I don't know if it's how you pronounce his surname, but at least his first name is Han, like Solo. So we'll go with that. So Han writes, my girlfriend and I met and fell in love through trading cards. A collective R from the masses.
I remember this.
No,
I remember this. I remember this post. So I was like, as soon as you said that, I was like, I remember this post.
It's a really good post.
It's a really lovely post. It's a really lovely post.
Absolutely.
And there are pictures as well, which I will open and share screen in a moment. So Wow. Okay, I've just looked at the picture again. It's brilliant. So, but since we've been in a long-distance relationship, we haven't had many chances to be together. When we discovered that EPAC had the Fleer Ultra Midnight Sun series, which she really loved, we started opening EPACs together during our video calls. Video calls. Huh? Interestingly, she could never pull a jambalaya or tombstone insert when she was opening packs in live streams. But in my very first box of Midnight Suns on EPAC, I hit both a jambalaya and a tombstone. She was beyond happy and excited. Later, I realized that she had a unique appreciation for printing plates and comic clippings. So I started quietly helping her to complete the totally covered comic clippings 16-piece puzzle achievement. Boy, there's a mouthful. Initially, I wanted to pull all the gold medallions ourselves to complete the achievement, but starting last week, the remaining reward became fewer and fewer, and I suddenly felt anxious. That's when I turned to the Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide MCCW community for help, purchasing or trading for the gold medallions I still needed. I never expected this journey to be so long and challenging. At one point, I thought I wouldn't be able to fulfill this wish for my girlfriend, but thanks for the support of so many collectors, I finally did it. A huge special thanks to Fernando Palandi. That's a great name. For being for consistently helping me track down and trade for the gold medallions I needed. I felt like he was right there with us, completing this incredibly difficult mission together. Threesome. On last Friday night, I finally met up with my girlfriend in person. With confidence, she pressed the redeem button. I'm so sorry. I've gone. I met up in person and she pressed his redeem button. Anyway, only me. Right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. And we received one of her favorite comic puzzles, Spider-Man. This moment has become a cherished memory for us. I am slightly tearing up as well because it's a really good story. Making a beautiful part of our journey together during Upper Deck's final days with the Marvel license. It's such a good story. And I'm going to share my screen and show. I'm sure folks will have seen this now, but I really, really, really think it's good to show it on screen. This is what they achieved.
Oof.
Yeah. That's great. That's a great cover.
I mean, wow. I mean, it's so good. I mean, it's
absolutely beautiful.
Spider-Man 6. And I won't lie to you, I'm not a massive fan of these puzzle clippings. Simply because I don't find that individually they hold up. I think the border's a bit too big. And unless you frame it, how are you going to display that in that way? And it's going to be difficult to see the front and the back. That being said, not one single panel of that 16-panel puzzle is a duff. They're all great. I mean, if you had any one of those in and of itself, it would be amazing to have. And the fact that you've got them all in one go with Todd Spidey and what's that, Demo Goblin? I think it's Demo Goblin. Yeah, it looks like him. Yeah. I mean, what's not to like? So yeah. So hats off to you, sir.
Yeah.
Han, that's such a great story. And quite frankly, Han has inspired us. Good morning, fellas. Taylor's here. Wesley's better half is with us.
Hey.
Good morning, Taylor.
Hey, good morning.
Hello. It's been nice for you to have him out to the house. Off earning enough money to treat you to your wildest dreams. So I put a post up asking for people's tales of what they were going after. And we had some really, really good stories submitted. So in a moment, I'll go to those, but I've got a few personal ones I wanted to go to. But before I do that, there's another guy in group who is doing the most bonkers hunt. And he's kind of doing what Han did, but without the joy of getting them all in one achievement. Okay. So there's a guy in group, and I'm gonna put this out as a little kind of public kind of help the guy out. A guy called Ho Yin Z, TSC. And apologies if I messed that up, Ho. He's trying to complete from the Upper Deck 2018 Marvel Deadpool set one of each cut so that he can get the whole New Mutants 98 book as cuts. All right. He's up to 102 of 198. So even without that, he's absolutely killing it. So I thought, let's help him out. Let's share this story. And I've got a picture here of his progress so far. And when you see it, it's absolutely mind-boggling how he's getting on.
And then how do you display that?
Well, you can see how he's doing it there. He's got some sort of top-load frame of some kind. But look, he's got like a page there. There. You can see where his gaps are. I mean, that's nuts. I think he was also working on the cover, because that was one of the first sets, I think I remember, where you could get the cover. Mm-hmm. I mean, there might have been earlier sets, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think all of the pieces of the cover, and it wasn't just one cover that they chopped up. I think there's multiple copies, where you could get the front cover as well. And I think he was working on that. So I've seen previous posts from him where he was putting that together. I can only assume he's finished the cover, otherwise he'd have shown that in this picture. But isn't that the most gorgeous quest to be on? I mean,
it's an insane chase. And the sad thing is just it's going to be. There's so many people that aren't in group that he's going to have a tough time. And they aren't active in the chat on the EPAC site. Yeah, those random hockey guys that we talk about.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted to give him a bit of help by mentioning it here. So if anyone's got any comic cuts from the Deadpool set of New Mutants 98 that can help the fellow out, even if you think he might already have got them, because I'm sure it'd be handy for him to have some trade collateral, get in touch with him. He's on MCCW, Ho, HO, new word, Yin, YIN, space, and then new word, TSC, Z. And yeah, I mean, good luck to you, sir. I think that's absolutely awesome that he's going for that.
I think
so.
I believe
cool.
Mike has. I'll try to reach out to him. I think Mike has a ton. He PC's Deadpool, and he's got a ton of that set, a ton of it.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I definitely gotta. I'm writing something down right now.
Yeah. So anyone in chat, if you can help him out, let's try and get people over the edge with this episode.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, let's. So I'm going to share. I'm sure you've got some tales. I've got some stuff to show. So I'm gonna bring Cardcam on. Cardcam, your moment is here, my friend. Thank you, man. That's quite all right, Cardcam. So, first of all, now I didn't do this on EPAC. Because when the set came out on EPAC, it was kind of early days and I wasn't as into my MCU stuff. But this was an EPAC achievement. I finally picked one up off eBay about 2 months ago. It's from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Whoa. And it is a micro swatch relic achievement. So it's the most bonkers concept. It was an EPAC achievement. It's unnumbered. And I was speaking to some of the people who've been quite big on EPAC for quite a few years. And they reckon that maybe 40 or so might have been achieved. So, there are a few out there.
So is this a piece of everyone's costume from the movie? Like a sliver of... Holy crap.
But as a micro swatch. So they're leaning into the actual kind of concept of the film.
Micro,
yeah. And it's absolutely bonkers. It's so well produced. I mean, can you imagine the number of different ways you could fuck up making a card like this? They've absolutely nailed it. It's beautiful. So I would get it out to. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take it out so you can have a slightly less shiny look, because it really does look quite remarkable. Here we go.
Oh, that's really nice.
Isn't it nuts?
Yeah, I love that.
I like it.
It's so clever. I really like it. So, and I tell you what I like. I really like when Marvel do stuff that kind of goes with the concept of Ant-Man and the whole size thing. Did anyone watch the Avengers Doomsday release video where they had all the chairs?
Yeah,
and they were putting them out. Did you see when they got to Ant-Man, Paul Rudd's, the chair was really small?
Yeah, that was funny.
It's like, hats off to you, fellas. That's the way you do it. So I thought that's what made me think of bringing that on. But let me show you a couple of things that did take a lot longer and I had to work a lot harder for. So the first one, oh dear, Sorry, something's just fallen off. I don't know what it was. I'm just going to take a page out the binder for this. So you remember Fleer Ultra Spider-Man, kids?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Fleer Ultra Spider-Man on e-pack. Oh, Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. What can I tell you? So, first start, everything was physical. It's in the, you remember those days? So we'll move the card cam up. So this is a base, okay? So you had to get 10 base to get a silver, which has kind of got a bit of a shine going on, yeah? And then you had to get 10 of the silver, so that's 100 base, to get a rainbow. All right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So the rainbow was difficult, but doable, because people were breaking a lot of product. The next row is where it goes to insane mode.
Mm-hmm.
The web foils. So this is a regular web foil, okay? And they were... Someone did do the maths. A guy I refer to as Mr. Fussum, Jonathan Dunn, did the maths on this, and it was you would get, because obviously they're less regular pools. So I think it was one in every so many cases you'd get like each character pop up. Yeah. So you had to get 10 of those to get the middle one, which is a silver web foil. And you might think it looks very similar, but that's because it's in the sleeve. But it has got kind of a shine to it. Then you had to get 10 of those to get the rainbow web foil achievement. Now, when I say to you that the rainbow web foil achievement was possibly one of the most difficult chases e-pack has ever had, I'm not shitting with you in any way, shape, size, or form. And if anyone's ever tried it, if anyone's ever done it, you'll probably have weary tales. These cards, I would guess there are probably less than 10 out there of most characters.
Wow.
Because it was just insanely difficult to get it. And it's beautiful. They're not numbered, but to get the rainbow web foil, you had to get 100 regular web foils, which would turn into 10 silver web foils, and then you'd get one of these. It took me almost 2 years, I think. Almost 2 years. So, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Wesley, I've seen the rainbow web foils be resold. There's been a few of those because those were easier to get. So, you know, at one point I was rainbowing the Spider-Gwen from this, and I managed to get the rainbow web foil of her.
Rainbow foil.
Yeah, sorry, the rainbow foil. Apologies. But getting the I've never seen. I can't remember the last time I saw any character rainbow web foil sold on group. Actually,
no,
maybe there's some sat on comms I haven't looked, but
yeah, I haven't seen many. I gave up on mine, but it was a grind.
Yeah,
sure.
Lots of people did. So there's one particular person I've got to thank for getting me most of the way there and giving me a good start, and that's Stephen Frank. And for anyone who may know of Stephen Frank, he was I mean, he's still around, obviously. He just doesn't do e-pack much anymore. He was a whale, I think it's fairly safe to say. No, not 1,000 base cards, 100 base cards. So basically, that's a base card. So 10 of those got you a silver, and then 10 silvers got you a rainbow. So it's 100 base cards there. And the same math on this row. But these, the web foils, were insanely difficult to hit. And yeah, doesn't hurt.
That rainbow web foil, that's one of the nicest card designs I've seen.
I should say at this point that you can see 2 plates on this page. I have the 3rd here and the 4th I recently acquired. So I now have all 4 plates.
Awesome.
And I also have, just because I'm in showing off mode, the original art.
Oh, wow.
And that's because I need to get another page going on.
Who was the artist for that?
It's KO Cacao.
Okay.
So that's the master rainbow of that. And you might be thinking, hang on a minute, that was a black and white. Surely that was a prelim. No, that's as final as the original art got. He scanned it in at that point and finished it digitally.
Oh.
So that was a tough one. So that's probably the toughest EPAC one. There was a much more recent EPAC one that was very tough, which was Eternals, the metal cards. If you got all 20 metal cards, you got an Arisham metal card, and there's only 25 of those available. And that was insanely difficult. I only recently finished that. Could be simply because at least 2 of the cards you needed were SSP. They just simply didn't pop up that often. The other one I wanted to show you, and this took me quite a few years to find. And when I say quite a few years, probably best part of a decade. Marvel Masterpieces 1997. Sorry, 2007. Apologies. That's what happens when I'm trying to do something.
Wait a second.
So,
Wait.
Masterpieces 2007 had these wonderful triptych pieces. That's Drew Struzan. That's Alex Ross, and that is Arthur Adams, and they're beautiful. And I've been meaning to get a second set of them so I can frame them because they just look so good.
Yeah, I love the one at the bottom.
Yeah,
that's the one we're going to focus on. So, for 2 of them, for some reason, not for the Drew Struzan one, but for the Alex Ross, you had a black and white version.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Yeah, look at
There
that.
was also
That reminds me of some old Dark Reign covers.
Mm-hmm. There was also a case topper, black and white Arthur Adams, and these are ridiculously difficult to get. I didn't manage to get the 3rd one, this one here. Well, I say the 3rd one. I think that's actually number 1. Yeah, Adams 1 of 3. I didn't manage to get this one until it was about 3 years ago. Jonathan Omega Hunter, who big Omega Red collector, saw one on one of those American marketplace sites you have. I can't remember what it's called now. It's like an alternative to eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he saw it on one of those, and they came individually cello wrapped because it was a case topper. So he spotted it for me and grabbed it and managed to complete it for me. So that's one of those occasions where someone's actually helped you achieve it. But I probably about 15 years I was looking for one of those.
Jeez.
So yeah, that was a very welcome thing, and that kind of completed my master set of Masterpieces 2007.
The black and white on that is on both sets are just amazing.
I mean, they're astonishing, aren't they? They really are. Makes you realize how good the artists are, especially Art Adams. I mean, look at that. It's just a delightful piece. So shout out to people who help you, in the same vein as Hans I just pushed something on my computer. Oh no, where's Cardcam gone? I've accidentally knocked Cardcam off the stage.
Yep.
So that's another one. And then I have one more show, and I wondered if you guys might have any that you can talk to, even if you haven't got them to show. So while I find this last one, be thinking about that. And then we will go back to some of the ones that got submitted on the site. So in the same vein, a lot of people don't really go for the Masterpieces 2007, 2008 sets. And I think you're missing out on stuff, quite frankly. But
yeah, the rainbow foils are beautiful.
Yeah.
In that
2008 did something interesting. They had these die-cut cards. Now, they're not to everyone's taste. They're a bit unusual. Now, this is Hulk and Iron Man A. That's what they're called. Now, these were common as muck. Yeah, you could really easily get these, and the art is very much, it's all right. It is what it is.
I like the Iron Man. That's
but the foiling on them is astonishingly good. Look at that foiling.
It looks really good.
It's really nice. It is really nice. Now, B is Iron Man and Hulk B.
Yeah,
I can't remember the specific details now, but look at the rainbow foiling. But these were tougher to get, and I have a feeling that it's because they pulled that old trick that the 90s did. They had them only available through certain retailers. So you had to buy packs in a certain place. Now, I'm pretty certain that the Iron Man and Hulk C here were Walmart. I might be wrong because my memory escapes me. All I know is that Iron Man and Hulk C are ridiculously hard to find. like super hard to find. The last time I saw one of them for sale, it was up for sale for a couple of $100, and it went like that as soon as it went online. So yeah, they are really tough to find, and they're not. I said, the die-cut cards, they're not everyone's cup of tea, but the foiling on them is just amazing.
Really good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
They look cut pretty well too.
Yeah, they are. They are. The only thing is, they all, by and large, have crimp marks on them. This one actually doesn't, which is good. So you see, it says Hulk C at the top there. So very, and they credit the artist as well. That's Lauren Lorente. But yeah, a lot of them came out of the pack with crimp marks on. B is especially prone to this. See on the edge there, there's crimping.
Yeah, I see it.
So it's production crimping. There's someone, there's
right on the edge. Yeah,
yeah, it is. It is because someone in group posted recently they just got one of the Bs, and yeah, you can really see it on this one. Look at that. So that's a production issue. That's just from obviously where it fed through whatever machine it was, because you can see the indents on the back as well. Just there.
Oh yeah.
But still.
But this had to be one of the earliest die cuts that they done.
Certainly from Upper Deck, yeah. In terms of Marvel, yeah. I can't remember. I think Upper Deck did a Hulk movie set in the early noughties. But Marvel Masterpieces 2007 really was their first kind of full run at a Marvel property. So yeah. So I kind of wanted just to show those in terms of chases that have taken a long time to kind of come to fruition. Any of you guys got any kind of similar experiences, EPAC or physical, that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I've shared it before, but I shared it before, but I teased it last night on Keith Boyle's Whatnot stream. So I don't want to let the people down. But
I'll make you big in a second.
So I was chasing this Marvel annual Madam Hydra for. I'll keep it short because I've told it before. But this Madam Hydra rainbow set, I started with the magenta plate and kind of built the set from there. Never expected to get 4 plates. Always thought it'd be cool. But this was the last one, and kind of asked around about a year ago, and Amanda, the Graded Gamer, actually had it. She's a plate collector, and actually she had it, was sitting there. She said, "Let me check. I think I've got it." And so I'll forever be indebted to her. I've got to find some good bullseye stuff at some point.
That's going to be hard because
I know.
Yeah, she's Keith. Just send her a Hawkeye card; she'll be happy. The thing is, and this is the good thing about Amanda. She's probably completed more collections and helped more people out than you realise. I mean, she's got so much good stuff. She really has.
She's great. Yeah.
I almost just want to send her the random plates I have, just so that everyone can know that the plate repository is there.
Yeah. I mean, she posted a picture a few weeks back on her Instagram at the Graded Gamer, and it was loads of Masterpieces 2018 plates, and my brain just melted seeing this picture, because I've never seen anything quite like it. Well, there's only one other place I've seen that many plates, and that's Printing Plates Andrew. Australian collector called Andrew Morrow, and he's got plates for days, and he's been at it for a long time as well. But yeah, that said, when my Eternals plates come in from Compsy, then it'll be like, hold my beer, because I'll be having some fun photos of those before they all get put away. How about you, Josh? You got any completion tales you want to share?
The ones that come to mind, and a long time ago I talked about this, but for 18 I went crazy for MM18. It was all in for full court press. So I did the kaleidoscope set, all of the holofoil kaleidoscopes. That was difficult, and then the red galleries, the out of 25 red galleries for 18. I love the fact that they did it in red that year. But that got crazy. Two of the cards, I think Punisher and Groot, two of the cards went into Germany and then back out, and a customs thing happened, and it was
stressing.
Oh God, it was unreal. But I was able to put together that Red Gallery set and that Kaleidoscope set. And then the achievements for that, I had the Spider-Man, the Captain Marvel, rainbows, the clear Captain Marvel.
Oh, they're beautiful. Those are.
Yeah, the clear achievements for that, and really just a couple red galleries on 18 or red spectrums rather. I got my War Machine, and so yeah, that's the ones that come to mind as the craziest ones was the gallery and the Kaleidoscope sets.
Nice, yeah. I mean,
I did have some fear 8-9/10 of the way through the red galleries that I wasn't going to get there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm currently actually on
that red gallery's nuts that you did that.
Yeah.
It putting them all together and I should grab the photos and throw them up just for fun. But that was
definitely.
Yeah, the Kaleidoscope set together and the red gallery set together, just beautiful.
Wow. It just occurred to me actually, I'm in the middle of the most bonkers chase I think I've tried in a while at the moment with my Eternals run. Which I might as well update you on, just because it's getting close to the end on EPAC. So how much won't actually see the light of day? So I've completed the gold, which are out of 99, and there are 100 and something of those, 145, I want to say, maybe 160 actually. No, 160 of those. So I've completed those a few weeks back. The purple is just the base set. So there's 100 of those. I think I'm up to 48 of those. And they're at 15. So that's pretty bonkers. And there are 145 cards that have printing plates. My goal is 1 printing plate for each card. And I think I'm just over halfway. I'm up to about 74, 75 plates. And it's I won't lie to you, it's absolutely killing me. It really is absolutely killing me. And yeah, so and that's not even taken into account the gold film sales that are numbered to 25, all different types of autos. So yeah, but I'm deep.
Psychopath.
Yeah, I am a little bit.
That's
tough, man.
But you know,
especially when you know that your sources for that are going to be just a little limited on, as far as how many people bought into Eternals, and so you're just going to have less cracks at the apple.
I mean, loads of people are just buying it for the sake of buying it. I mean, there are still some auto achievements left for that product, and mainly because there are actually quite a few of them. I think there were 25 Gemma Chan and 40 Kit Harington, and I think there's some of both still left. And when you get to the end of the chase, you can choose either. So you get to choose on that one, but it's just the amount of product on there means that they fall so few and far between, the tier 4 sales that you need. So it's a really, really difficult chase. I would actually say that product is, if the film had been really successful, it would have been fine, but it would have had to have been mega successful for it to have been fine in the way that they built it on EPAC, because it is just it's the stuff falls too few and far between. So anyway, it is what it is. But because a lot of people are buying it at the moment, there's a lot of plates popping up, so it's actually running me ragged, I think is the first way to say.
Do we know for sure if there'll be like a last minute drop?
I'm pretty certain there won't be, because it's not just Upper Deck's decision. It's
right.
From what I understand, it has to do with the way the product looks. Like if we say that this product is now $5, like we are making Marvel product look cheap.
Yeah.
Even though we know that they're doing it to get it out, they don't want to look like that as the license, like they're a cheap product.
Right.
So, and I get it. You know, you don't want to fire sale a big brand like Marvel. So yeah, Wesley's got one. Wesley's got one.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Wesley. I remember you struggling on this one. So Wesley, the Midnight Sun 6-piece sketch puzzle. Worked on for 6 months. Yes, those blues. So yeah, Sarah Underwood and Keith Boyle, two of the undisputed like hobby gods as far as I'm concerned. Sarah Underwood has helped me out so much with cards in the last year, and Keith, obviously, a mega collector. In fact, they both are to a degree. So yeah, hats off to both of them. I'm so glad you did that. But yeah, it's always, what's that expression, Wesley? It's always darkest just before the dawn. Because I remember at one point you were on here, and it's like you were just in despair. You were like, oh, I've been working at this for so long. And to be honest with you, the fact that you did it in 6 months, hats off to you, because most of my chases have been a lot longer than that. Sorry.
I probably forgot to thank a couple people for that gallery chase and the kaleidoscope set, because there were a ton of people in group that came, messaged me, said, "Hey, I heard you're on this hunt," and without that collective effort from the groups, so thank you to whoever I'm not able to thank right now because it was so long ago. But yeah, it's a huge side effect of the group and the connectivity and what you're able to do with some of these.
I was having that network,
hunts.
isn't it? Goes back to that episode we did about trading after repacks, having that network.
There would have been no other source to Marvel Masterpieces is a niche of a niche. It's a slice of I think the highest quality slice of it, but it's still so when you're going after masterpiece achievements, you a lot of Marvel card fans don't grab masterpieces. And it is what it is. But
always makes me laugh the way Americans pronounce the word niche.
Well, my accent too.
No. And it's not a dig at you. I find so many Americans pronounce it niche.
Yeah.
It just makes
it could be worse. It could be niche.
It could be Nietzsche, but then we get philosophical, so we won't go there. Keith, you got any tales? Before we go to the phones.
The funnest, I didn't go crazy on anything achievement wise, but the coolest thing I did, I think, was probably the X-Men Metal Blue set. That was a lot of fun to chase together, and it was I didn't think it was that hard to do either, even though people hoarded their Wolverines and certain cards for no reason. That was really fun, and it's probably one of the most beautiful inserts from the X-Men Metal set. Nice. Other than that, it became a really cool way for me, easy and cheap way for me to get base sets because of redemptions and stuff like that. People that went crazy buying had redeemed cards they didn't want from Fleer Ultra X-Men. I was able to get a base set for. Nice. I liked doing in 16, 18, and 20. I wanted the gold and the regular base tier 1 to 3, so I was able to buy up sets like that really easily too. Nice. So that was cool too. And besides that, just big trades and stuff. So if I can real quick, because I've been trying to get in touch with MacLeod for a while, I'm going to use the platform. During Unbound 1, when it was that craziest and people were getting autos and stuff like that, MacLeod was a great trade partner for a lot of people because I know he was doing something with autos. He was probably trying to get that achievement. So he put together a lot of really good trades, one of which he did with me. And after we did the trade, he blocked me. And I didn't even propose the trade. So I just want to put it out there. What did we do wrong there? And I have the card.
Oh, MacLeod. It could have been a slip of the thumb. It could have been, but we'll let him speak. I kind of feel
hit me up on the side.
Yeah, hit me up on the side. That's not
double check and don't always. Yeah, that's a good double check and don't always assume. I had a guy from work. I'm texting all the time, like, dude, we're
because his collection is gorgeous, and I'd love to find a way to do more trades with him.
He's really helped me out with stuff.
I'd overtrade for so much stuff that he has.
Yeah,
this was the card that got traded, and it was 2 or 3 autos from Unbound 1 for that.
Wow. Okay.
So maybe you can remember and get me back sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to accidentally block somebody than you think.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Maybe have a virtual beer together, guys.
I love it.
Sounds. Mike's a dude. Mike's got a really good blog actually, and he did a banging piece. In fact, Mike, I've been meaning to ask you to come on. In fact, I might have asked you and then forgotten. For all I know, you said yes. But I want to do another printing plate focus episode, and Mike is one of us that really, really highly reveres printing plates. But he did a really good blog about them. So, Mike, feel free to pimp your blog if you're still around, and drop the link in comments, because I'm sure people would be well up for reading that piece. I know you've shared it in group as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with a friend of a lot of people, Wigan PI, the card investor. He's an absolute dude on EPAC. He's been around a long time. That's not his real name. I do know his real name, but he chooses not to use it on social media, so that's absolutely fine.
Good trade partner too.
But he's a really nice guy, and I wanted to start with him because we just looked at that Fleer Ultra Spider-Man Black Cat Rainbow. Wigan had the last plate, Black Cat plate, and we worked out a really good freeway trade for a black diamond gemography I had that would finish off someone in China's collection who had a gemography that Mike wants, that the card investor wanted. So it did that, and so he had the last Black Cat plate, but he held on to it until the right trade came along. He could have offloaded it years ago. So, he held on to it for me. So big thank you to the card investor for that. But his story is, this is one of the collecting moments I remember very clearly. And this shows how long he's been on EPAC for. After furiously putting together all of the pieces to redeem a 2017 Marvel Annual Puzzle Sketch Achievement, I sat on it for a little bit because the prospects of pulling a less than appealing one was too scary for me. That's interesting. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone for like a big thing, and it could be random what you get, and you've just like, what if I pull a duffer? Because we've seen people pull duck. I mean, on those comic cover cut things.
Yeah,
some people have like really like worked their asses off and overtraded, and then they've got like Avengers 172 or something with a foil cover or whatever it is. So yeah. You see, this is like EPAC Friends Reunited. Mike has come back. I think you two. I think the piece has been made.
My heart
piece
flutters.
has been made. There we go. All right, thank you. So the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast, bringing collectors back together since 2019. Do you realise the podcast is going to be 6 years old in a few weeks?
Wow.
6 years.
Yeah,
6 years.
crazy.
Man and boy. Anyway, let's go back to Wigan's story. It was very hard to put. Those who worked on this achievement know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was a tough one. I remember the stories at the time. It was very hard to put together, and the bottom was pretty low. I was outside working on my pool. Okay. I'm just going to put a pin in that there. It's just stop for a second. I was outside working on my pool. Having a pool might be fairly commonplace for a lot of Americans. I think you've got a lot more space. You've certainly got the weather for it in some states. It is an uber luxury for a British house to have a pool. Like an uber luxury. Like we're talking top end earners here. But it's much more commonplace in America. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, you could buy a pool for like $75 on Amazon and have a pretty decent sized pool in your yard.
No, I'm not talking about that pool. I'm talking
about
pool.
Yeah,
a structural pool. Yeah.
No, it's down here in this climate and like tropical part of Florida. It's it's wrapped to everywhere.
It's commonplace, but it is. My brother has one and bought a house with a pool, and I think he regrets it to this day because it's just a lot of work and upkeep to keep
maintenance costs.
It's one of those things that if you don't have kids, you find that over time you don't get as much use out of, and it's more work than you actually care to put into it.
I suppose I'd spend all my time floating around naked, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to Sanders Pool. Sorry. Pretend I didn't say that. The card investors pool, with or without a visualization of me floating around naked in it. I was outside working on my pool when one of my collecting buddies notified me that the Fred Ian Black Cat puzzle had just been redeemed. Oh crap! One of the top sketch puzzles I coveted from this achievement. Despite my nerves, I went ahead and hit the redeem button and was floored when this beauty showed up. So at this point, we're going to cut to show what he got, because it is quite remarkable. Now, it's a low-res image, unfortunately, so hopefully it will come through okay. Look at that. That's what he got.
6 card?
6 card, yeah. Marvel Annual.
Look
2017.
at that Phoenix.
That's a banger.
I mean, like I said, it's low rares, and I've had to enlarge it so you're losing a lot of the definition. But
even with this quality, you can see the Firebird in the back.
Yeah.
That's one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, it's just the composition on that is flawless as far as I'm concerned. So while you're oogling and ogling over that one,
I mean, I might clip that and run it through an upscaler just so I could see it.
It's nice. I'm sure he's got a hybrid. I mean, he's probably got it in hand by now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need.
Let's go. I'm just going to go back and finish his story. I couldn't believe it. It was the other puzzle I had at the top of my wish list. I've been collecting cards for just about 3 decades now and have experienced a lot, to the point where it takes quite a bit to get me that buzz that I used to get for pulling a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. But I was buzzing that day, and I'm not surprised. Look at that. It's just like, wow. So,
and the whole piece is good.
Yeah,
the Phoenix to the right.
Yeah,
with the green and that is.
Oh yeah, it's it's up there. I mean, I'm not a sketch puzzle fan or collector. I'm really not. But yeah.
Take that one in a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness!
Hell yeah!
Right. Someone. There's the longest story ever, so I'm going to skip that one simply because it's a really long story. Like I'm having to scroll 3 times to get through the wall of text. And I don't think there's any pictures to go with it as well. Yes, there are. But anyway, I'll come back to that one. I want to go to Izzy, your friend of mine, Black Widow collector, Isidore Chavez. Now he's actually posted 2 stories on here, but because I'm looking at this in reverse order, I'm going to go for his most recent story first. And this is a nice one. I mean, Izzy's got all sorts of stories. Can I just take a moment actually with Izzy? Izzy's a lot of people are selling at the moment because the market's down and people need some cash, me included. Izzy's had some shit going on recently that I won't go into, but he needs some bucks to cover some medical expenses. So if you see Izzy's sales post on MCCW with a huge volume of really nice sketches and one of the most incredible Nova collections I've ever seen that he's parting with. Some of the elements of that, there are Fred Ian sketches, there are high-end achievements, there's some mind-boggling stuff. Do consider taking him up on it because you don't see collections like that getting split often, and it really will help him out. So, he's
a personal friend of mine too, and he couldn't be a kinder soul.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. He's
that guy in the group where like your group of friends where you're like F that guy, and he's the one that's like, well, I don't know, guys, he might actually be pretty decent, and you're like, God damn it, Izzy, you kind soul.
Yeah. So Izzy's said also, but we haven't done his first story yet. So I want to note the biggest MCU Black Widow achievement. So Izzy's a Black Widow collector primarily. The biggest MCU Black Widow achievement I finally got after so many years of searching and being patient. I added an SP triple relic card to the collection for way less than the only one I've ever seen in the wild. Now, this is bonkers. This card. It was only on physical because this set was pre-EPAC. And yeah, this is just a wonderful piece. So I'm going to share it now. On the screen, if I can find the right button. There we go. It's got to be an easier way to do this. StreamYard. So that is from. I think that's from. I want to say Winter Soldier. I think it's from Winter Soldier. And it's a triple relic, Black Widow. Now, a lot of the relics from this period, and he hasn't shown us the back, but a lot of them are screen worn, and they make a point of saying on the back of the card. So I've got multiple relic cards from this set. I don't have one of these, but I've got multiple relic cards of these, and it says such and such confirmed to having been worn by Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and then it's got the other character, and this is used in the production. So unless they can verify that it was worn by the actor, they'll say used in the production. But yeah, I knew.
I didn't know who was going to say it first.
Was going to go there.
Didn't know who was going to say it first.
But these, I mean, it's a I mean, for a character collector, it's amazing. They're three really interesting looking swatches. I know that's not everyone's.
You walk out of the garage and your buddy's like trying to eat the.
Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Josh went. See, notice how I wasn't the one. I'd like the audience to just acknowledge for a moment that I wasn't the one that went there.
No, I can control myself. With
No,
my
but
friends.
you projected it onto us. You know, you projected that onto us.
Yeah. I suppose I
That's
did.
my
I
fault.
suppose
You did.
I take full responsibility.
Yeah, you take full responsibility for your actions. Anyway, so that's a banging card, Izzy. Thanks for sharing that one. There's some other really good stories here.
Some of them are really cool. Those screen worn cards with some of them have a textured pattern that are from like a octagonal like mesh and stuff. It kind of gives you an idea of what they wear underneath the suit.
Yeah. The Guardians of the Galaxy ones are bonkers. Some of the materials they wear in those are just incredible.
Iron Man ones are really nice. I think from Black Diamond.
Yes, they're fabric ones that he wore underneath the suit, and there's quite a lot of there are quite a lot of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark with shirt and jacket or things like that.
A few of them look like that CGI suit that you see pictures of all the characters wearing at some point with the pixelated neon.
That's right. But there are from the Iron Man set. They did do some multi-case achievements with actual metal panels from some of the like the Ironmonger and the because there were some on-set metal things. So
really?
Yeah. Oh, seriously. Well, yeah. Listen, Rittenhouse put out some of the most bonkers. One of the ones I brought in with me, which is the one that leapt off, that I didn't show. Can I get this without falling off my chair? Can I? Yes. Rittenhouse will put anything in a card.
I love it.
Playing card. Playing card from Casino Royale.
Oh wow, that is awesome.
That is sweet.
That's a piece of playing. I mean, I've got. I think I showed them on the last episode of Friday Night Saturday Morning with Amanda. But I've got cards with pieces of Aston Martin windshield embedded in them from Quantum of Solace that Rittenhouse did, and the cards are like this thick. They're the most incredible things. Anyway, but yeah, you can get metal Iron Man cards.
Is that thicker than your Khonshu card?
That same.
Yeah.
About the same. Yeah, 360 points.
Still one of the most ridiculous. Still in my head, I've been trying to get one of them. It's one of the coolest cards.
They are so good. They are so good. But yeah, I mean, pretty much anything you can imagine going into a card. Inkworks
Ian,
did a wonderful.
You said that was from the 07 or the first Iron Man set from Rittenhouse?
The first Iron Man set was Rittenhouse. Okay. And you can get
Josh taking notes over there.
I mean, to have a lot of those cards are cool, and I've seen, but to have a metal piece of the Iron Man suit, especially if it had any sort of screen.
Yeah, you've got Ironmonger, and then there is an Iron Man. I think it's his earlier suit rather than his like the one he eventually designed. I think it's his earlier one. But that's the only set that Robert Downey Jr. signed for as well.
Right. I've seen those.
So that it's that set basically. The costume relics from that set are really nice. I've got one. There's one with Jeff Bridges. You can get bit of his tie in the card and things like that. And there's some really nice stuff. I tell you what, with Iron Man 2, it's one of the only sets that had a Nick Fury relic. I think the first Avengers movie had one as well, and it's his leather jacket.
Oh wow.
And just the feel of it is just amazing. Yeah,
I want a piece of the eye patch.
Yeah, the eye patch.
Yeah, I have a feeling. That there might be such a thing, but I can't think what set it's from now.
You remember if War Machine was in there as a?
No. There's never been. They haven't done any metal cards since of any of those outfits, simply because most of them are special effects. I think.
Right.
But plenty of Don Cheadle costume relics. There's loads of those out there. But did I tell you I finally got his autograph card from Falcon Winter Soldier?
Oh, nice.
Can't wait to get that in hand. I mean, it's SSP. It's really bonkers.
That's a good one.
Rusty Baxter, which I'm sorry,
That's a great name.
Rusty Baxter is a brilliant name. That's a brilliant name. That's kind of like the drummer of a 70s prog rock group.
I thought it was a dirty film star.
Yeah.
It could be that as well. No, I think that's Rusty Backer. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, I pulled a Spidey sketch in Marvel renditions. After I messaged the artist and chatted for a while, I asked him if he did any Craven sketches for the set. So I'm guessing Rusty's a Craven collector. He said yes and sent me a picture. I loved it and needed it for my collection, so I went on the hunt for it. Now, this is a whole other level. Finding out a sketch exists in a product because the artist might have shown the pieces, and then going hunting for it is kind of doing the hobby on hard mode. It's slightly easier with EPAC.
Tried that,
but back in the day when it was especially when it was Rittenhouse, one sketch per box, and you'd see on the website, because Rittenhouse used to put all of the sketches on their website.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then a lot of the artists, got to a point where they stopped doing that so much, but all the artists would post them all on Scoundrel, so you knew what was out there. So to this day, I've still got a folder full of sketches that I was like, I'd love to have owned that, and some of them I've never seen pop up.
Yeah, the mathematics are
insane.
Anyway, sorry.
Isn't there a Squirrel Girl sketch from Kree Scroll War that people are still looking for? I remember when I first got into the hobby again, I asked about that set, and somebody posted a picture, and it's a very kind of sexy Squirrel Girl sketch that I guess people knew that it was out there, but it's never been pulled or seen.
Oh, okay. Pass. I've not heard this story, so if you can find a picture of it and we can put it on next show, then yeah, go for it. I mean, if it's that sexy, it sounds like it might tip you over the edge.
I feel like
thank you very much. I'm here all week. Anyway, let's go back to Rusty. So, a week later, I was scrolling on Whatnot and came across a half-case break of renditions. Popped in and bought a Craven and left. So he put the Craven character spot.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up the next morning and noticed I was tagged during the break a few times. Watched the replay and saw the guy pulled the Craven sketch I was looking for.
Wow.
It was so exciting to get that lucky to hit the one specific sketch card out of who knows how many in the set.
Yeah,
and to make it even sweeter, the pack it was in was an error pack that had a second sketch stuck to the back of my sketch. It was such a crazy experience. So let's have a look at the sketch that he was. Oh, no, wrong button. There we go. Let's have a look at the sketch, shall we, kids? Because he very kindly posted a photo of it. That's a pretty decent Craven sketch. I like the style of that.
That's
right.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I like renditions. It's a really nice looking set. We should definitely do a focus episode on it at some point.
Do you know how impossible that is to pull the sketch you want to pull, not just to pull a character or an artist? Like generally, I say to myself, I would like one from this artist or I'd like this character.
Yeah.
To actually pull both in the same thing there is you cannot put a number on those odds.
It's kind of like facing away from the dartboard and throwing the dart and hitting a bullseye.
Like backwards, a handful of darts and just throwing them over the back of your shoulder.
Yeah. And he nailed it. So Rusty, go and buy a lottery ticket.
Unbelievable.
Because quite frankly, that's bonkers. I love it. I absolutely love it. I
thought about it once or twice when I've seen ones like that and gone and just roughly ran through the impossibility of that happening.
Dude, my dumbass was just trying to get an Ash sketch, and I tried it in the worst product ever, Black Diamond.
Oh.
You imagine how much that costed? No, I did not. No, I never got one, and what I got was a very nice credit card bill.
Wow. I'm behind on comments, so someone asked what set is that, but I'm not sure what set you were talking about because I don't think it's the one we were just talking about. So Anyway,
right.
right.
It's about 10 minutes off, so I'm not
It
sure.
is. Sorry. It's because I can't. I'm trying to read and do this at the same time. So Joshua Lee. This one's now what I love about this is that some people have shared some really personal stories, and this is one of them. Joshua Lee. This one's kind of tough to post about, but in a nutshell, late one night last June, after an afternoon evening of grief and sleeplessness of coping with the senseless loss of life of a co-worker, I felt comfort in buying some packs on ePack. Well, lo and behold, I happened to hit what may well be my all-time favourite sketch. Not only was this the first sketch of the character which I personally collect that I've actually pulled myself rather than traded for, and that's always a nice thing to happen. It was also by an industry-wide, well-known artist, Marlo Martos. Marlo Martos is often in chat. He's a great bloke. Hope he's well. So the quality is top-notch. I couldn't help but have some extra feels from whenever this has happened. This particular style depiction of Wolverine kind of reminds me to have fun, yet remain vigilant, which totally captured the essence of my fallen co-worker. I mean, that's a lovely story. And here comes the sketch. Isn't that gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's lovely. I mean, I'm not really a chibi collector, but my goodness me, look at the energy.
Same, but that's great, and the colors are
It's
great.
a great composition.
Yeah.
It's perfectly framed within the stuff that you can't get work around, like the anime logo and the artist sketch card thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun sketch.
Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah. So I'm so pleased you shared that with us. Thank you, Joshua. And I'm sure we'll all raise a little beer to the memory of your co-worker.
Yeah.
There's another
Cheers.
personal story I wanted to go into. So I'm just going to scroll down through a few. So if anyone submitted stuff and we don't read it out, do apologise. We're not.
Mike's got a good one in the chat too.
Oh, has he? Right. Okay. Let's go.
He went
to
the same route as me, but things worked out for him.
Let's have a look. So I won in the billion pool like that was in Black Diamond. Admittedly, I bought a ton. Yeah, you did. I remember, Mike. I remember seeing you had loads. I mean, I bought some off you off Comsey actually. Some of the Exquisite that I've since parted with myself because I bailed on the Exquisite chase. But yeah, specifically Dewey Chinchilla sketches. Pulled the top character Psylocke. That's nice. Wow. Okay. Rich Garrison. This is a lovely story. I really like this, and there's two pictures that go with this one. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so let me just pull that one up ready before I start the story. So, this one requires a heavy backstory. So, my father had a painting business my whole life. I started working with him when I was around 15 or so. We did work all over New York State, including the FBI building in New York City. We were working in World Trade Center Tower 2. It was actually his call not to go in on 9/11. Wow. I was supposed to miss school to finish the job, but he got sick and decided we weren't going in, and I had school to go to. So, yeah. We helped clean up Queens after the big hurricane came through, plus a ton of other jobs for more than half my life. His business card was Van Gogh's Starry Night. He always said it was his favourite painting. Everything about it he loved. He passed away from cancer in 2013. I saw this card for the first time around 2020, and the price was insane, so I just shrugged it off as something cool but unobtainable. 5 years later and hundreds of trays later, here it is in my collection. I never thought I'd own it. I probably won't own it for the rest of my life, but having it now, being able to look at it in hand whenever I want to, that's something special. My dad didn't give a shit about cards at all, but if he was still alive, I know he'd think this is the coolest card out there. So even though I'm welling up reading this, even though this card isn't something I hunted down and tried desperately to own, somehow I have it. I never thought I would do, and it's probably not even my favourite priest that I own, honestly, but it's something very special to me, and I'll cherish it for as long as I have it. I'm sure you've probably guessed what card it is by now. But from Marvel Premiere, I believe it's 2017. Spider-Man Classic Art Shadow Box. Starry Night.
These are some
awesome.
of the coolest cards, and that one in particular is awesome.
I like that.
Isn't that beautiful? These are so well executed. And whoever it was at Upper Deck that had the idea to do these, by the way, instant pay rise.
Yeah.
I had a Wolverine one for a long time that I really liked.
Wow.
I parted with it.
Wow. Someone was very recently selling a few of these. I think it might have been Frank Narnia might have been selling a few of them, but I saw the Black Cat one up there, and I very rarely see the Black Cat one come up for sale. I have it. I got it at the time the set came out, but boy, yeah, it's incredible. Rich did actually then share an image, another image that I'll just pull up on screen.
He traded me my favorite puzzle sketch of all time. Like I got in an awesome trade from him. I got Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, Battle Spectre, all 3 cards, landscape mode on this like neon orange background and stuff. That was just awesome. He was fantastic to trade with.
Rich just shared this in a follow-up comment. I still keep his business card on me too.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? That's a beautiful story.
Absolutely.
So I love this. It's just such, people have really enjoyed sharing this. It's such a positive post in the group. And there's been so many sales posts and posts of late that it's nice to do something like this and have some stuff out there. So Jason Erickson, I think he's pretty new to the hobby based on his story. So let's get into his experience. Jason Erickson was having a beer around midnight, saw the Spider Hits channel. He was doing a first opening platinum review. After watching it and not seeing or hearing about Marvel cards since I was 12, I bought a box. My box comes in the mail from David Adams, and in pack 2 is Ron Lim's Venom. Now I'm locked in. I'm watching every case break I can see to see another get pulled. I don't see any. I'm a month behind the release, so there's a lot of content to consume. I buy another box from David Adams and get a red auto. I buy 2 boxes from my local comic book store, Hobby Legends in Brea, California, and pull Miles Wall's Maestro. I pulled 2 sketch cards in 4 boxes. The pack odds are about 1 in 6,000. To pull 2 in 4 boxes is insanity. And he's right. Sketches in platinum were extremely difficult to get.
And all great.
Let's see what he pulled. So, okay.
Whew,
Imagine being out of the hobby since you were 12. You come back and you get a Ron Lim sketch.
A Venom.
Venom.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 2 boxes later, getting Myers Wall. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Again, I say to you, sir, go and buy yourself a lottery ticket. Although this happened a while ago, so his mojo might have moved on by now. But still, I mean, that is just insane. It's just insane. Good fortune. So, hats off to you, sir. Izzy's other story is I wanted to read this one out because I have a very similar story about the person that Izzy refers to. So, Izzy had a dream to own a 1-of-1 Black Widow parallel from any set. I'd waited so long when collecting so many cards that were not my focus right away. But as I was getting to a point of always having so many low-numbered things, I wanted to chase them 1-on-1, not including plates and sketches, but true 1-of-1 parallel. In 2022, I'd seen a collector, Hugo Sketch Card Fanatico. Does anyone know of this guy?
Yeah.
Absolute beast. I don't think he's active on Facebook. He certainly was active on Instagram, and he was definitely on ePack. Hugo Sketch Card Fanatico had posted a Black Widow 1-of-1 Black Parallel from 2019 Marvel Premiere for trade on Instagram. We'd always talked about art, as that's what we were both really into. Well, I started on a journey to find a green Magneto PMG, which I think is what Hugo wanted in trade. With no luck, I gave up on finding one. Hugo said, "Don't worry about it anymore. Send me your address." I said, "You're kidding, right?" Fast forward to March the 25th, 2022. So he knows the actual date. I received the 1-of-1 for free. I've never gotten generosity like that in the hobby before. That card will never be sold and be a reminder good always outweighs the bad. A true staple to my collection and really made me appreciate all of what collecting is. Thanks again, Hugo. It's still sitting on my display, being cherished forever.
Yeah, it's incredible.
You want to see the card, don't you?
I do.
How's about that? I need to zoom in a bit actually on that one. Yeah, sorry, it's a low res picture, unfortunately. But
Wow.
look at that. Isn't that phenomenal?
Wow.
Yes.
So it's what this reminded me of something, and it's probably not too dissimilar time. It might have been that year, it might have been the year after. I had a very similar interaction with Hugo, but apropos of nothing, I didn't even know he owned this. We were talking about something on Instagram, private message, might be on the Marvel Masterpieces Collectors thing or something. I can't remember now. And I I woke up to a trade on ePack for a digital card from me. And in return was one of the Black Cat 4 printing plate booklets from Marvel Metal Spider-Man universe. And I was like, dude, what's going on? It's like, it was like, have it, the gift. So he gifted it for me. Now, the person I do know who had it on ePack, and as I woke up to it, I went and looked their latest stuff in their collection. I sorted it by latest, so I know what Hugo gave to get that Black Cat pack set to then give it to me. And it's just like,
and he gave
and yeah, it was a very, very tasty sketch. I can't remember who it was by now. It was a top artist as well. Hugo, I mean, obviously that is an extraordinary circumstance, and I don't think there's not many people who randomly give away cards like that, especially high-end cards. So, but it's just worth noting that the random acts of kindness like that really, really do exist outside of Upper Decks Annual when they send out stuff to people. Andy Ganfield is still working on and have a few pieces in Comsey of his growing Ghost Rider. I can't even say the words. Marvel Masterpiece collection. Now, again, it's not a great. Is that Marvel Masterpieces? That's platinum, isn't it? That's
Platinum, yeah.
It looks like
again,
platinum.
it's not a great image, I'm afraid. Andy, come on, put your ideas up, mate. But I mean, look at it. It's great. I mean, you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Midnight Suns comic, and he's got the whole rainbow going on. That looks bonkers. There's some graded pieces in there, but it's too fuzzy for me to actually see what they are. So I'll save your eyes and come away from that one. I think should we do one more, two more? What should we do?
Yeah.
Let's do two
Why
more.
not?
Let's do two more at least. I think we've got about another half a dozen, but some of them are insanely long. So Grizz Hunter. Now, I think Grizz Hunter is a great name. I don't think Grizz is his actual first name, because I've done at least one deal with him, and I'm sure the PayPal name was something different. But anyway, Grizz Hunter is a good dude, and he was all over this post, tagging people, trying to get people to contribute that he knows have had really good tales of hobby achievement, hobby climax. So Grizz, I have stories of my journeys for days. But I'm not customarily a set collector. I prefer to focus on my abundant PC character rainbows. However, I took notice of the creator art variant pull odds in Platinum and set my mind to completing the 10 character set, base to black. Given the error on the back, known to all, folks weren't too focused on the creator art variants, but they are tremendously tough to pull nonetheless. Check the checklist odds. Over several months, I was full rainbow to black with 9 out of the 10 creator art variant characters and could not acquire the Black Silver Surfer for the life of me. I'd nearly given up when Tyler, that's Tyler Dane, no relation to Taylor Dane, and I were chatting, tell it to my heart. There's a deep cut for you. And I were chatting one day about our goals. He was seeking bigger Doctor Doom cards, and I happened to have a duplicate black creator art variant of Doom. To my delight, he agreed to trade the one-of-one black creator art variant Doom for my unicorn black creator art variant Silver Surfer, thus completing the 10-character creator art variant platinum set base to black. I will be forever grateful to the trade that allowed me to close the door on my platinum creator art variant rainbow journey. And yeah, people just overlook those completely. I know, because I pulled one and no one was interested in it, despite despite the odds on it. But yeah, again, because some of you guys need to stop spending money on cards and invest in some better cameras, because quite frankly, I can barely see what's going on. But there it is. There it is. In all its fuzzy glory. Yeah, I pulled, I think I pulled the Galactus. Yeah, the Galactus, which I've still got to get in the mail to Joe from Upper Deck, because he was working on some Ron Lim on the sly.
Yeah, I've got the Ron Lim Silver Surfer Blue.
I know you do. Yeah, I've seen you share it. Yeah,
God, I love it.
So, yeah, is anyone else happy that Ron Lim has made a reappearance in Marvel trading cards?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's the most bonkersly gorgeous thing to happen in the hobby. It really is. So Grizz, thank you for that, and really thank you very much for pushing people to comment on here. We don't have a picture on this one, which is good, because no more fuzziness. But Alec Chapman, and then Brad Galley's chipped in as well, and he's got a really good story. Alec Chapman, my dream was to complete the Red Gallery set from 2016 Marvel Masterpieces. Josh, you can relate to this one, can't you?
Oh my gosh.
At the time, Spidey and Venom alone were $5,000 each. 5K.
Yeah.
5K.
I mean, you're talking about one of the most difficult and most expensive chases there you could ever go on.
Shut the front door, though. 5K. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a rich man. Who is? Unless your name rhymes with Shanty. I'm not a rich man. I am crafty, though. I was able to put together a mini master set of 2020 masterpieces early on, right before the COVID spike. Good for you, sir. There was a friend of a friend of a friend that just so happened to get a second set. He got as payment for an old debt. Are you with me so far? Because I'm slightly lost on this one already. But he already had one set in his PC, so it wasn't attached to it. What are the chances of that? We negotiated my 2020 mini master for his Red Gallery set. Problem was, he was in Florida. Luckily, my brother and dad live in Florida. Most people in the hobby seem to live in Florida, it seems. Hopped on a plane with a briefcase attached to my wrist like it is in the movies by handcuffs. Turned out to be an amazing guy. We drank whiskey, traded and laughed. He is now a close friend in the hobby, and now I marvel at my Red Gallery set whenever I think about leaving the hobby. What a journey. He hasn't shared any photos of it. He also didn't say this, but I really hoped it would go on to say, would you to get married next?
Yeah.
But can you feel the love in the room there, guys? You all know Brad Galley? You must have seen Brad Galley around.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
MCU collector. He's also a sports broadcaster for one.
Right. Yeah. I like his. He does his box breaks on the group. Yeah.
He's our resident kind of vague celeb kind of vibe. Don't get offended by me calling you a vague celeb, Brad. I didn't mean any. I'll stop talking. Right.
Full celeb.
Yeah, Brad, and I remember him chasing this because when he first kind of approached the podcast by Twitter about 5 years ago now, he was in this chase. I chased the Endgame, the Avengers Endgame Exquisite set for years, completing it through trades in the MCCW group, e-pack deals and some purchases. I won a friendly bet with one of my favourite collectors because I convinced an e-pack user who is notorious for being tough to convince to make any deals at all, to make a huge swap with me. Most of the cards are numbered to 49, but the big names are numbered to 25. This was an international quest with help from many good people in the collecting community. Now, I will say, Brad sweated bullets to get this set. And you would have thought on Brad's broadcasting bucks, he could afford a better photo as well. But never mind. So just to look at these, what you probably can't see is that they have a single diamond in them.
Yeah,
They are absolutely stunning. It's a really shit photo. I can't quite believe what's going on here. We've had 4 really, really, really low-res photos in a row. It's no one's fault. It's just the universe.
Take one set off and
I know. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, they are stunning cards, and I remember, oh god, I remember tagging him on a couple of things when a few of these came up. I'm pretty sure that the Falcon I saw come up in group. but yeah, I mean, I know the Thanos and the Spidey, especially. That's the Spidey there, by the way, the one I've got the mouse over in the bottom middle. They're really tough to find. I mean, you just don't see them on eBay at all. I do want the Renner one from this set, which is somewhere. Is that one there? Yeah. It's top row, fourth one along from the left, by the way, is the Jeremy Renner one, in case anyone was wondering, because it's really difficult to see. Can anyone spot where Rocket Raccoon is in this one?
Yeah.
I'll be able to spot his outline.
Second row.
Yeah. Second row left. It's brilliant. I love the fact that we're guessing who the characters are from their shape.
Yeah, there's shadow, the silhouettes. It's like
you can see
That's
it.
it.
You can spot Doctor Strange from his collar. Fourth row, fourth along. But there's a couple in here I'm struggling with. Who's the fourth row, second one in from the left?
Valkyrie.
Oh, of course. Yes. All right.
That image for the Spider-Man, the Iron Spider one there.
Yes. When he's got the gauntlet at the end.
Okay, so that's not the one. I had a Tom Holland auto Iron Spider, but it wasn't the one where he was holding the gauntlet. He was staring upwards to the sky, and he had the Iron Spider on.
Yeah,
I think that's from the beginning of Infinity War when he hitches the ride on that ship that's just stolen people.
He was in like action pose type.
Yeah. I think it's tough. Listen, I've never had the money for a Tom Holland card, let alone an auto. But I've got to say, a lot of the images I see on them, I'm like,
Yeah, I needed one where he was in. There was a few where he wasn't in in full costume and stuff like that were like portrait
even the ones
style.
in costume though. Some of them aren't the best shots. It's like Marvel Black Diamond has got some great autos in it, and there's a Paul Bettany vision. There's some Paul Bettany vision ones, but the images on them are really like not good at all. And it's just what they had available to them. I mean, I remember being told by Grant at Upper Deck that they had a very, very famous actor who'd agreed to sign for them, and they couldn't use his auto because they didn't get provided any decent images of this character.
Yeah, I got lucky with I hit Sebastian Stan auto. And found
Sebastian Stan there for me.
Found somebody who's a huge Winter Soldier guy, and he happened to have two of those Iron Spider Tom Holland autos, and so I put together a trade that was, thank you. I mean, but that's the only way. And what I saw happen to the price on that card in the following couple years. Oh my God!
I did the same thing with the Hemsworth.
Oh. I still don't have a Hemsworth.
And I think what were they, quad or 5 diamond or something like that? It had multiple diamonds too.
Yeah. I did finally get a Dave. But I never know how to pronounce his surname. Batista.
Yeah.
Yes.
It. Finally got an auto of him, and funny enough, it was Wiggum PI, the card investor, who hooked me up recently because I think he had a dupe and. Sold me one, so I've finally got one of those coming in. But there's a few actors in the MCU that have signed, plenty of, that I just don't have their autos of yet. Cumberbatch is one.
Yeah.
Hemsworth is another. And Cumberbatch's auto is astonishing. You've seen how beautiful it is. It's almost like Oscar Isaac's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a super, super intelligent guy.
Yeah.
Really, everything from just laying an auto down, he's going to put down effort. He's everything he does is nothing.
So that's kind of it. I mean, we do have a few more stories, but one of them was ridiculously long. The other one had another really grainy photo in, and quite frankly, I can't do any more grainy photos. But can I just say thank you to everyone who shared a story there or shared some images. Ignore me joshing at the low quality of some of them. I think that's partly Facebook just compresses them to buggery, and so even if you share them, they don't come out.
Everyone keep in mind these stories are happening simultaneously with all the craziness and the chaos. We know that's a part of it, and we know sometimes it gets a little nasty out there, unfortunately. In all things human exist all human elements, but there is all of this awesome uniting and people coming together to make these achievements and stuff happening all the time. We just don't hear about it or focus on it all the time. So just keep in mind, everyone, that's a big part of the group.
So I think, you know, it's good to do this once in a while. I think it's good to do this once in a while because it's always, you know, tempting to do content that maybe criticizes something or focuses on a less desirable aspect, and you've got to celebrate the good as well as the bad. I'll go. Someone once gave me some advice that I'll kind of end on because it kind of sums up the ethos behind doing this kind of thing. It's no one. And it was from a point of view. Who's got ice? Is that you, Keith? Jingling away?
It sounds like you got like
I'm
a
done.
big strength there.
It's a nice coffee.
Pull out a straw, just sip the last few sips. Like
when you're at an agency and you're sending emails to clients, the clients don't remember the 50 really good ones you sent them. They'll remember the one where you fucked up. So what I want to do today is let's have 50 tales, or however many tales it was, of really good stories where people have actually had some good shit go down. Not because they've been sent a replacement from Upper Deck that was really rubbish. Not because they, failed to get the thing they wanted to when they pressed the redeem button, but some, really good stories. And there's lots more of these. So I think we should do this more often, if only so that I can do more graphics that kind of play into the whole kind of O-face achievement climax kind of vein of things, simply because it makes me smile.
Yeah,
that drew a couple comments too.
It did draw a couple of comments as well. It reminds me, I did tell this story very, very much once. It was on an early episode with the former co-host about a guy that I used to work with who came into work one day and he said he looked really tired and he goes, I said, what's happened to you? And he goes, oh yeah, I pulled a French guy last night when I was out in Soho. And we were like, oh, okay, fine. And he goes, yeah, but the funniest thing happened is when he climaxed, he shouted, J'arrive! J'arrive!
Oh my God.
Do you remember that story? Anyone remember that story? Anyway, I'll get my coat. And seeing as Keith's here, I'm going to let Keith sign us out this week because, quite frankly, we need to restore some level of decorum to the podcast.
Yes.
Everybody enjoy collecting, with or without EPAC.
With or without
There it is.
Climax. Okay.